The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Good morning, Hoop Ballers, and welcome to another edition of Hoop Balls DFS Today. This is your Tuesday, June 15th edition. I am your host, Santino Cocone, and I am here with my main man, Brennan. William is Bill. How you doing today, Will?
What's going on, Santino? Good to be here with you again. Another Monday, but we only have one game today.
Yep, just one game. The other series got swept, so we are on just the solo 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time start. But this series is 2-2 right now, the best series of the bunch. We're doing this podcast right as the late game is starting to tip off on Monday night, so there might be two games at 2-2. But as of right now, this is the best series of everything. We have a couple superstars missing in action here that we will get to. But how you feeling about this game in general before we jump into the DFS side of things?
Yeah, this series has been crazy. It's been lopsided, for the Nets, and then lopsided for the Bucks. And now with Harden and Kyrie out, the Bucks are in prime position to take over this series. So it's kind of crazy, but injuries are a part of the game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's very big on the home court advantage here, huh? The first two games, Brooklyn dominated at home. It looked like Milwaukee was gonna pull another Milwaukee in the playoffs, and then they came out fighting, squeaked by one game, and then that game 3 was just awful shooting, but they squeaked by. And then the other night, they won big, and Kyrie went down to join James Harden. So big losses there. And if you guys haven't gotten the hint by now, this one game slate is the Bucks at the Nets. Without further ado, man, let's just jump right into this. We have this one game that starts at 8:30. The spread is the Bucks are actually favored 2.5 points, road favorites, and the over/under is 220.5 right now. On the injury report, as mentioned, we have Spencer Dinwiddie, James Harden, Kyrie Irving all out for the Nets. And on the Bucks, we have Jordan Nwora and Dante DiVincenzo out. Throw it over to you. We'll start with the Bucks. They are the away team. This is a showdown slate, which I'm not particularly a big fan of, but I still like to dabble in them. I just like the more options. But start over with you on the Bucks side. Anybody that you're interested in captain, or who are you looking at playing over here?
Well, for the captain side of things, obviously you're gonna want to get Giannis in there. His regular price is $11,800. Captain price would be $17,700. That would be the second highest price of the night. But it will be tough to get him and Durant in there with their price points being so high and to still have a great team. But if you can get him in there, Giannis is guaranteed for over 50 DraftKings points. So that will be key. Another guy I'm looking at is Drew Holiday. He is at $13,500 in the captain spot, $9,000 regular. I'm interested in him in the captain spot because Kyrie is out, and he will not have to do so much on defense in this game. He won't be guarding KD. I wouldn't think so. He's a great defender, but he shouldn't be having that matchup. So this series, he has not been playing incredible, but I think this is a prime game for him to break out. And you're getting him at a discount because he's not been playing that amazing as far as statistically wise. Those are my main two guys for the Bucks. Are you looking at those two or anyone else?
Yeah, and I don't mind either of those guys. If I'm going to throw another one in there, PJ Tucker is a name. I'm not in the captain spot, but PJ Tucker is a name that you can throw to. He's now 5'2", but if you put that on a normal slate, that's probably like a 3.9 price tag, so it's not bad. Obviously, everybody in a showdown slate gets a price bump, regardless if they're captain or not. So I don't mind going there. Another guy I wouldn't hate is Bryn Forbes or Pat Connaughton. Forbes a little bit more because he's just so cheap. Playing a decent amount of minutes. Didn't play much in the last 2 wins. That's also could be a product of game environment and whatnot. Bobby Portis is another guy. He's only been playing minutes, very, very low minutes, but he's always been a good per minute guy. And at 3,200, if you're trying to fill out your lineup, I don't mind that. But I'm with you. I like Giannis, obviously. Can't go wrong with Giannis, whether you can put him in your captain spot or not. I would prefer Drew Holiday over Chris Middleton. The last time I was on this podcast, the difference between Chris Middleton this year, even this year, at home and on the road, has been night and day. Without 2 star power players on the other side of the ball, maybe there's a difference there. But if you just look at his home and road splits, he's shooting 44% on the road, 50% at home, 35% from 3 on the road, 47% from 3 at home. Scoring nearly the same amount of points, 20 and 21, but his efficiency and his shooting and everything is just so much worse on the road. So I'm going to try and lean away from him there. And I think for value-wise, without the big 2 that we'll get to, there's just a lot of value to be had on the other side of the ball. And with that said, I'll let you jump on the first side, on the net side first, man. We only have 2 games, so instead of switching back and forth, I'll just throw it over to you. And are you playing Kevin Durant in your captain spot, knowing that it's no longer a big 3, it's not even a big 2, it's just a big 1?
Nobody builds 5G like Verizon builds 5G, because we're the engineers who built the most reliable network in America. And the more you do with 5G, the more building it right matters. The more your network matters. The more Verizon engineers going the extra mile matters. It's us pushing us. It's Verizon versus Verizon. 5G built right from America's most reliable network. Most reliable based on rankings from RootMetrics second half 2020 U.S. report of 3 mobile networks. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Well, you absolutely have to try to get Kevin Durant in your captain spot. He's 12,000 regularly priced, 18,000 in your captain spot. That's a huge price point, but I mean, he's the only guy on the team pretty much. The second leading offensive scorer will probably be Blake Griffin or Joe Harris. So, I mean, they're not going to be putting up major points. I mean, KD could go for 60 real points in this game. He's going to have to show up and do everything on the court for his team. So, I mean, he's well worth the price point, and you can just, save some money later on down the line playing guys like Claxton or Jeff Green or Mike James. But, yeah, the Nets have a lot of players you can look at. I think Blake Griffin is going to be a great value. He's at 6,800 regularly priced, 10,200 in the captain spot. He's going to have to step it up offensively. He's been scoring in the 20s as far as DraftKings points. But in the first game against the Bucks, he had 46 DraftKings points. So if he can hit anywhere close to that, that's going to, make your lineup if he's in your captain spot. So you'll just be having to bank on Blake Griffin. Normally that's not a great idea, but the Nets will be having to do that same thing. So I think you can trust them in this matchup. You can look at guys like Bruce Brown, 6,200 regularly priced, 9,300 captain spot. He's been stepping it up lately, except for the last game. So, but they're all going to have to step the game up with Harden and Kyrie out to fill that offensive void. Are you looking at guys like Mike James or Nicholas Claxton?
Who?
What do you think about the Nets? Who? Mike James.
I haven't gotten that set up yet, so I'm pretty excited by that. Throwback song from early 2000s maybe?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. I think for obvious reasons, and it's why he's the highest priced guy on the slate, Kevin Durant needs to somehow, some way get in your lineup. Captain would be awesome. If you can't do that, he has to be in your lineup regardless. Without it just being the big one, we don't really have to dig into the stats or whatnot on that. It's just self-explanatory. I do like Joe Harris. I would like to get him in the lineup if I can. Now he is the second guy on this squad, second or third at the very least. He's at home. He's been better at home, similar to the Chris Middleton type of thing that I mentioned. He shoots way better from the field at home. He shot in home games this season. He shot 50% from 3. 50%. That is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, he was playing with multiple superstars next to him for the majority of that. But now you're going to add extra shots to him, even if he doesn't shoot 50%. that's more chances for him to make it. They need him to step up. Blake Griffin, he has stepped up, especially in the first game of the series. Second game, he got near double-double. 2 games on the road weren't so great, but they're going to need him as much as he can get, and he's been playing 30 and then 20 or mid-30s to mid-20s. I'm going to assume that this game is going to be back to the swing of things and go back into the mid-30s. They're going to really need him. $6,800 for a utility spot is very affordable. If you wanted to, I wouldn't mind going him at a captain spot if you wanted to go into an affordable option also and load up on KD and Giannis. But they're going to definitely need Blake Griffin here, like you mentioned. Bruce Brown, also rock solid, 6,200. Won't hate going captain spot with him if you really wanted to be a bargain bin. Same with Landry Shamet. All these guys are going to get, with no KD and no Harden, no Kyrie and no Harden, they all get extra opportunity to do something. And a lot of times role players play better at home, especially in the playoffs. It's just a very notorious thing that guys like these players always step up at home. And why not? You want to be surrounded by your fans. You want to be in an arena that you're comfortable with, less pressure. It's just how it goes. I don't mind going at Jeff Green either. He played 27 minutes in that first game back in a couple weeks there, nearly 3 weeks. If he's going to play 27 minutes and now there's no Kyrie, maybe KD plays more small forward. Also, Jeff Green at a bare minimum or near bare minimum on a showdown slate of 4K. That is super cheap. I will take some shots at that. Don't mind it. And those are probably all the guys. If you had to squeeze in somebody like Nick Claxton to fit your lineup or Elise Johnson, won't hate it. But that's probably desperation slot if you're fitting all the top guys in and you have to do that.
Yeah, and like say if you were to put Drew Holiday in your captain spot, you could get Giannis and KD in your lineup, but you would have to go for a guy like Nicholas Claxton and Bobby Portis in there too, which is not a terrible way to go about things. So you can try multiple different lineups and see where you're headed. I think the only guy we haven't mentioned probably is back on the Bucks side, Brook Lopez at 7,600 too. I think he'll be a capable player. If you don't go too big for Giannis or KD in your captain spot, you might can fit him in your lineup. He's just going to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, yep. DeAndre Jordan is not going to be out there because him at a minimum price of $1,000, which that is a sneaky play. He could be out there with everyone hurt. They could throw him out there, but we just won't really know. So someone's going to probably put DeAndre Jordan in their captain spot, and he's going to go for 15 and 10 or something, and they're going to win all the money.
And we'll get more word on what the Nets are going to do. They did just lose 2 games, and the last game wasn't that particularly close. And the game before that was just bad offense on both sides of both teams were just shooting like bricks. That Paul George meme that somebody made last year. That's what just popped in my head. How they were shooting. That video was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, this whole lineup, now that we have 2 of the 3 guys out, is going to probably change. And Steve Nash is looking to make adjustments. They're coming back home. So it's going to be interesting to see what we hear pregame from Nash and everybody else on not just who's going to be getting the starting nod, but how they want to do with make these rotations. Because without their top 2 guards, and KD was playing mainly power forward, and he was playing some center, small ball center. But they could put him at more small forward minutes. Obviously, he's familiar with that because that's where he played for most of his career. And they could potentially go bigger here and try and let Giannis shoot threes like he was doing a couple games ago. So there's a lot of different opportunity and different things that Nash could tinker with. I think the Bucks are pretty much set where they are right now. They didn't lose anybody. They're on a 2-game win streak. They're probably just going to keep continuing to roll things the way they've been rolling. But the Nets are I'm looking for some adjustments here. And at the very least, we know a new starter is going to be named. But I'm thinking that there's some other stuff there that we could potentially see, whether it's starting in the starting lineup or throughout the game. So that's where I'm looking for. And I'd rather take some shots there just because we know there's a lot of shots up for grabs.
Yeah, and I mean they also have Tyler Johnson on the bench. He could get some run too. He was playing earlier in the season. It just can go either way. Like you said, you got to wait and see who's going to be starting, what the rotation is looking like. But this is definitely going to be an intriguing matchup. Joe Harris, I will say, he does scare me because really he's only had one great game this whole playoffs. I don't know if his shot is just not with him right now or he's not confident, but with Kyrie out, he should have more opportunities, and they would definitely need his three-point shooting.
Yep, I agree. And speaking of the home-away splits for Joe Harris also, he's shot 3 of 13 from 3 in Milwaukee. At home, the 2 games before, he was 8 of 16. So just like Chris Middleton, their home-road splits are pretty drastic.
Yeah, it's just fortunately Chris Middleton can do other things. Like he's had some double-digit rebound games. Joe Harris is like all or nothing at threes, pretty much.
Yeah, there is a big difference there. But just in general, I'm excited to see this game. I'm excited to see if KD can win without the help of two other superstars here.
All of Twitter is excited to see that.
And I'm excited to see if the Bucks can exercise some demons of the playoffs of the last couple of years. It's going to be exciting. Both these teams, it was my opinion, whoever won this series is going to win it all. But if the Nets do happen to win this series and Harden and Kyrie are not coming back, that's going to change my thought process. But we will see. We will see.
Most definitely. I was going to say something, but I lost it. So it's most definitely. Oh, did you see the Hawks game? I think you were out, but that was a great game.
It was a busy day for me. I got home just recently, so I'm going to be catching the rest of this late game, but I did not see the first game.
Yeah, so that was a great matchup. So the Hawks are back in the series, spoiler alert, but that was a great matchup. They were down 18 at one point late in the game, and they came back and won, pretty much right at the end. So this playoffs is very compelling. It's just
did Ice Trey do anything? Wow,
yeah,
25 and 18. His stats look great.
Yep. So, all the series have been great except for the one that was a sweep. So we'll see what happens with this Nets and Bucks series.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's 2-2. I was saying before we only have 1-2-2, but now we at least have 2. The Clippers are winning this first quarter. We could have 3 2-2s.
Yeah. And Chris Paul will get tons of rest.
I'm the new Chris Paul. I still love that commercial. But before we head on out of here, is there anything else you want to tell the viewers?
I don't know. Should I tell them? What do you think?
I was going to. If you didn't, I think it's better if you say it. I like it.
No, I got some interesting things coming up in the future. We're possibly working on a new podcast for myself. It's going to be called the All Rookie Podcast, and follow rookies throughout the draft process and the season, because there's no other show like that. Most of them just follow the draft, and then that's it. And then the rookies are thrown to themselves. So I'm going to follow the rookies throughout the whole season and all the rookie information you could ever want and need. So just stay on the lookout for that. You can check my Twitter for updates at William is Bill, and I'm excited about it. Anything you want to say to the people?
Rookie following rookies, some would say.
I'll take that.
That's awesome, and I'm excited to listen. I'm excited for you. And yes, the rookies get thrown to the wolves, and we not forget about them, but the podcast forget about them unless they do something special. So this is going to be a fun one, and I know I like myself some rookies. I don't know if Dan, the old man Dan, loves his rookies, because we know his fantasy thoughts about rookies there. But this is going to be exciting, man, and happy for you. And that should be coming soon to a podcast near you.
And look out for Santino. He will be on the show. I got to bring him on. He brought me on here. Got to bring him on here, and pick on him a little bit on my show.
I like it. Now I don't know if I'm going to come on, but
I know.
We'll see. But yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. And stay tuned for that, guys. You will definitely hear some stuff. I will give you updates if Will's not on here, and I'm sure Will give you updates as well. But We also know that the lottery is next Tuesday. So by the time you hear this podcast, it will be 1 week from lottery day, and about a month later, draft day, and about a month after that, summer league, and then about a month after that, training camp, and then about a month after that, start of the season.
If all things go to plan, accordingly. Hopefully we'll have a summer league this year.
I didn't expect to keep saying a month after that, all the way to the start of the season, until I was doing it, and then I realized,
Santino
wait.
making the schedule. Adam Silver called Santino. He got it ready for you.
Well, and then every time I said one, and then I say, oh, wait, no. Right after that starts. Right after that starts. But, all right, guys, this will do it for our one-game showdown slate. Hope you guys enjoyed. We did about 20 minutes. We did a little bit of talking after that about some good stuff, and then some stuff that Will wanted to say. But, no, just kidding.
I didn't want to say it, but Will wanted to say some stuff. Like, shut up.
I was going to say it anyway. I was going to let the viewers know, or the people, we the people know. But thank you guys for joining in. Tomorrow we should have Keith and possibly Mike. Mike is in the midst of a cross-country move. I don't if you guys don't know. So his weekdays are pretty tight, and he hasn't been on as much in the weekday, but he's doing his weekend shows. We will see if he has time, but if not, Keith will be running solo, possibly with one of our guests, or running solo. We'll see. But that's who's on tomorrow, and we should have, I believe, 2 games. But thank you guys again for joining us, and we will catch you again when we catch you. Thank you. Have a great night.
Oh, that was terrible.
I don't know what to say. We will catch you when what?
When we catch you.
That was
Peace.
terrible.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.
Nobody builds 5G like Verizon builds 5G, because we're the engineers who built the most reliable network in America. And the more you do with 5G, the more building it right matters. The more your network matters. The more Verizon engineers going the extra mile matters. It's us pushing us. It's Verizon versus Verizon. 5G built right from America's most reliable network. Most reliable based on rankings from RootMetrics second half 2020 U.S. report of 3 mobile networks. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.